This episode was everything to me. I laughed, I cried, I got mad, I got happy, I got excited. Then I got mad at my girl Nina. Like, oh my God, what are we gonna do without Nina? And I am a little confused with what's going on in this fandom. And so I'm gonna get to that at the end of the video. But also at the end of the video, I'm gonna be giving my thoughts on what happened in this episode and specifically the mega group missions, because I have a lot of thoughts on those.
우리 모니카 언니 더 소녀 같아졌어. 맞아. 아, 나 배 꺼졌어. 맞아. 큰 변화다, 큰 변화. 배가 들어갔어. 맞아. 나 배가 또 날씬해졌어.
저희도 그랬어요. 그 모니터링을 하고 안 하고의 기점으로부터 신경을 굉장히 많이 써요.
髪型には家賃以上にお金をかけてます。まずスーパー行くのもマジいいですよ。はい、塗っちゃって。いいですよ。はい、塗っちゃって。見た目によらずって感じ。マジでギャップすごい。 모든 걸 포기하고 집으로 돌아가고 싶었었거든.
I don't think it's gonna be better. Cute? Yeah, I feel like it's just gum, earrings. That's me.
No 마츠게, no life.
キリンじゃん。もうキリンなんじゃない？
Oh wait, y'all forgot this is a competition.
I thought we would go a little bit more viral than what we did. So AG Squad made a TikTok. And it was a Korean chant, which was basically saying, like, vote for us.
보여줬어 리아타 심사 보는 장면. 재밌게. 내가 그 자리에 앉아 있고 또 리아타가 여기서.
特別ゲスト呼びたいなと思って私の妹のトワイスのモモに
どっちも中途半端な香料になってしまうと、なんかどっちも生えなくなっちゃうので、あとちょっと明るすぎるやっぱり。
For me, the glow stick thing is a turn off for me.
I get you.
Just feels like vibe 2012.
Very famous group to get you votes.
Which is smart.
It's smart, but it's not you dancing. It looks like that other crew from last season.
나 원민인 줄 알았어. 나 원민인 줄 알았어. 우리 색 하나도 없었어 마지막에. 다 먹혔어. 완전히 초록색이야 지금. 찍혔는데 기분이 안 나쁘네. Sorry, my flag.
할 수 있는 대형과 동작과 앵글들이었다고 저는 보거든요. 너무 클리셰예요. 퍼포먼스의 컨셉에 좀 너무 안 맞아서 아쉬웠거든요. 전체적으로는 되게 짜인데 춤이 아쉬워요. 저는. 디렉팅이나 어떤 영상적인 연출이 정말 엄청 디테일하게 막 짜임새 있게 있는 그 느낌이 좀 많이 안 보였어요, 저는. 완성도 자체가 조금 떨어지는 부분들이 있어요. 그러니까 뭐냐면
거기서 그린 우산 2개가 왜 빠져있
I think it's just very creative use because 오타게하고 합치면 very smart strategy.
맞아. 그렇다면
어떤 느낌이었냐면 갑자기 트와이스 뮤직비디오 된 느낌이 좀 있었어요.
ちょっとなんか伸びてもよかったんじゃないかなっていう部分はありましたね。
Beautiful to have the Aboriginal dance scene.
It's very much a big part of Australia.
Because they are Australia. They're the first ones that were on Australia land.
Why don't we acknowledge the animals of Australia and base it around?
Like 40 million animals or something? Them tests should be run so this can stop.
And the wildlife are very sacred and important to them.
Would each scene represent an Australian animal?
Feels like a little torch thing. Feels like a little torch thing. And I feel like if we filmed this indoors, it would have been easier. But we didn't want to do that because that's not what Australia is. It's really popular in Korea.
The Dancer's Foundation.
Cushion is so nice on your skin and looks pretty on all skin tones.
No. No. Okay, absolutely not. No.
But didn't quite deliver the impact you'd expect from 130 dancers. They have 9-to-5 jobs. It's hard to, get everyone in one place. The schedule was the biggest difficulty for me, absolutely.
Either you're heterosexual or you're gay.
So you're not bisexual, are you?
No, I'm gay.
虫っていうけど、ここからね、国家制御。
振り付け師います、ここに。
いますいます。
自分の国のアイデンティティを表現する。
子供たちはたった1時間のリハーサルで全部覚えました。明日かましますか
어떻게 생각을 해야 되나? 진짜 so simple 근데 crazy.
The division that is happening in America, we actually are unified. We're fighting together against that.
America, there's a lot of great things, but then there's also a lot of stuff happening politically, minorities in a lot of situations, To represent America honestly, hip-hop music and culture is all about resistance and rebellion. It was created by the people that suffer at the hands of the political climate of America. I want to really showcase the unity and the diversity that America really truly represents.
I didn't know that J.Y. Park could have given us 100. I have no clue.
Okay. You sound like Mary J. Blige.
이야기로 세우긴 한 것 같아요. 진짜 힙합이야. Oh my god.
라인 이런 쾌감은 없었어. 흑피 색깔만 딱 썼어. 블랙, 화이트, red, blue.
출산도 했고 곧 이제 저도 마흔이 다 돼가거든요.
신기하지 여기?
일을 하고 있었는데 설마 지금 굉장히 비웃음을 많이 받았는데
첫 번째로 노래가 좋아야 된다.
네네네.
잠도 포기하고 정말 최선을 다해서 하는데도 이게 안 되니까
진짜 맛있다. 와우.
Oh my.
$1 million likes. Do you know how hard it is to even get in the millions for likes?
The other crews got twice, we're already famous. So if we were more famous, our views would have been more.
And now we said it.
글로벌 워킹 씬의 강자 윤지. Ladies, as you may know, there are certain unspoken rules in this space. Honor, respect the dancer, and respect the floor.
Were amazing. Mecha Sugoi, is that right? I think because you love.
I think I'm gonna win this battle. I am just confident in my ability.
선생님이랑 같이 할 수 있었던 것도 아니고.
Before I give my opinion about the eliminated team, I'm going to talk about each group's mega mission. So, Ojo Gang. Ojo Gang confused me a little bit when Twice popped up. Now, I love Twice. I love Twice. However, they are mostly... this could be a controversial opinion, but I mean, when I think of Twice, I think of K-pop. But they're not really a J-pop group. The show even introduced them as a K-pop group. So, I say all that to say, when I think of Japan's identity, cultural identity, I don't think of a K-pop girl group. And Twice being there kind of really messed it up for me because that was the main takeaway for me. That was the biggest moment of the performance. And the biggest moment was supposed to be the high angle shot. And I'm sitting here right now trying to remember what even was the high angle shot. I remember seeing Nayeon looking like they AI'd her up in there. She was looking good. And one of the judges maybe brought up, or someone brought up, if we didn't know that those girls were Twice members and we thought they were just dancers, would we really be all that impressed by, would it have been that big of a moment? The other groups had dancers who if you're into the dancing community. This was the group I was the most worried with when it came to scoring, so I was glad that they had different categories because I'm like, this one's gonna have a lot of views, of course. But did we love it? Yeah, we did love it. Yeah, we loved it because we know Momo shaking those look at me lips, those look at me hips, those look at her slaying this whole world. I saw national identity, and I also saw Korean national identity in a literal sense of Korean people being there. Which, I mean, yes, Korean people do live in Japan, so there are expats. But all jokes aside, when Mike explained the whacking thing, and that paired with the beautiful cherry blossom part, I did get a new appreciation for their video. But what I mostly saw were identifications of identity. I didn't really feel identity. AG Squad. I feel like I come pretty hard on AG Squad, and I'm actually recording this right after I edited together some of those moments. I think I found myself coming at AG Squad a lot. And I don't know why. I love this group. I'm glad that they're still here. That's not shade to RH. I'm mad that they're not still here. But with AG Squad, I personally don't know these women's backgrounds, so I don't know if they were going to be doing appropriation over appreciation. And my God, no, they said nope, 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 nope. We doing appreciation over appropriation here. I kept thinking how they were going to handle that when I saw the coming up clips from last week, and I was a little nervous. I'm not gonna lie, because but they delivered on their promise and then some. Like, using animals is cute. Trust me, I love an animal. I love an animal. Like, my whole family says I'll probably die trying to save, like, a stray cat on the road or something. But that's the thing. Here in the U.S., the animals, like, our animals are like, nah. But Australia, y'all got the animals. Y'all got the animals. Like, you guys got kangaroos. You got... I still don't know what a dingo was. I kind of always assumed a dingo was, like, a baby kangaroo, but... When I saw what it was, I was like, oh my God, is that a fox? Like, what is that? And the Tasmanian devil? Come on. And then finding out that these animals actually have Aboriginal representation. Oh, the respect. I got the chills. And because of that, I really can forgive that some of the shots weren't all that pleasing to the eye. And I really don't care. Their high angle shot was, it made me laugh because I'm like, okay, they have so much already, so deep-rooted representing their country. You could tell they're about to get in the shape to make something. And I was expecting them to make like the shape of a can of Vegemite or the Crocodile Hunter or my girl from Real Housewives, Gina Liano's wig. But no, it was the AG symbol, which is cute. RH Tokyo. Where was this song earlier in the show? Because the song is it. And bringing Yuki Chiba in was great because he can dance too. You know, remember when he was on that song with Megan and Americans were looking at him, they were just saying, he gay. I'm like, oh, Jesus. The group's location concept of going to iconic places that was their concept, right? Their concept was locations or nostalgia. Not actual locations, but like random like fruit stands in Tokyo where the price was on one of those tomatoes, it was like 300 yen, which is about like $2 American dollars. For what I was assuming was like a pack of like 3 or 4 tomatoes. Pack probably goes by weight. Which still, in the US, they sell in a single tomato for like $2 to $3. And do not get me started on a grapefruit. And I'm sorry to all the Korean cuisine fans out there. I cannot stand cabbage. But when I saw the price of cabbage, holy shit. But that is actually really interesting to me because it feeds into the narrative of RH's theme, which was then and now. Back in the day, those prices were so different. Back in the day, meaning what, like 2018? If someone was born in 2018, how old would they be now? Oh my God, they'd be 7. Oh, I hope they're not any 7-year-olds listening to my... Oh my Lord, I hope there are. You know what? I'm trying to teach some good lessons here. The moment for me that got me, though, was the bowing down traditionalism of the 90s to the current day, which was so fantastic of a representation because a lot of people, at least in the West, still have this stereotype of Japanese people specifically being just like very formal, very conservative, very... I don't even know in the US if they still do the Pledge of Allegiance. And if you ask me, don't ask me my opinion on that because... But seeing that juxtaposition of Japanese culture from the 90s to now, which is really not that long of a time, it was just fantastic. Again, though, I'm still not really sure the concept. It was like, work at girls taking sticker photos being one of the important aspects of Japanese culture, I guess. The outfits, though, yeah, when they're saying nostalgia for stuff, I don't even live in Japan, never even followed Japanese culture like that back in the day, but even those outfits were nostalgic for me. And I wanted them to go more into the train station one where they were getting ready for work and they were like all in their work clothes and stuff. I felt like there is a deeper meaning to that really just went right over my head. And it was also interesting to me that a lot of the dancing they use is kind of what you could, I guess, describe as TikTok dances. I mean, someone even said it looked simple. Yeah, I think their high angle shot really kind of messed them up because Mega Crew was not really Mega Crewing at some points in this mission. It's interesting, the two that got me the most emotional were Australia and US. And I mean, you can kind of see why with Australia harkening back to Aboriginal culture, well, yes, every country has natives, but when you look into the treatment of the Aboriginals in Australia, at least back then, I don't know what it's like now. I've heard rumors it's not any better, but them actually going for that and doing it, that made me tear up a little bit. I'm being honest, because Australia has a dark history. Australia is also a pretty new continent? What's the what y'all, country, continent? Your continent. Okay. And I knew America has, my God, we're very new as well. And we are very still not over the 250 plus years that it took to found this nation. We are still not over that. And seeing Motiv's video, oh, it just broke me. But it gave me hope. I love when she mentioned unity and diversity coexisting together, because that is allegedly what they teach us in school in America, the point of the United States. They usually, first they said it was like a melting pot of cultures. Now they say it's like a salad or something, a salad bowl. I've just figured out that I do not like white vinegar on salads. I don't. I think I'm going to stick to red mostly. But the duality of differences and uniting is just very lovely, because it feels similar to like an yin yang thing. And I'm like, with more time, this could have been like some halftime show shit. Oh my God. Contact Marley. Contact her. Because that Marley Blackbird video, oof, chilling too. And I mean, the whole thing was also very reminiscent of This Is America. And the choreographer, Cherise Silver, good luck, Kaea, trying to get her on this show too. There were moments that they kind of touched on what the video was about, but they were also very careful with the wording, because, you know, the show is not supposed to be a political show, it's supposed to be a family show, etc., etc. But like the hardest they were able to go was saying like, oh, we have political differences, and never really went into race or anything like that. And I get it, but political differences is the safest thing, because Kaea, y'all just had political differences too. I know for sure that the team wanted to say a lot more, and they probably did, and it was probably cut out, but they actually did not need to say any more, because when you watch the video, like, words are out. You don't need words. But oh my God, that one moment that struck me is that dancing speaks so much louder than words, and they weren't going to say what was happening in the choreography on the show, but I'm going to just say it was lynching and then running from the cops, and just, damn. In JYP, you want to talk about color, they had color. They had cop lights, and those cop lights are disproportionately used on others. I was just so touched by it, the way that they're able to walk the really, really thin line of like being too political and losing your message. I am so grateful Marley and her team stuck to the message, because it resonates. Okay, bumsup. Sometimes I do roll my eyes when people are like, yeah, I live in this city and it's so chaotic. And people are like, yeah, I live in this city, it's so chaotic. It's like, every city's so chaotic. Right? Yeah, but does it define every city? Not necessarily. You can have a big population with little chaos, especially if you monitor everyone 24/7 and, you know, scare them into not doing things. But add on to that, South Korea is technically a new country, but an old country, and they're still split by their divide. I mean, people in the US bring up tensions between North Korea and the US. People living in South Korea, in Seoul, which, mind you, is like a 3 or 4 hour car ride from Pyongyang. And then add on to that the whirlwind politics of their past, like, half decade? But I mean, Korea takes a lot of things seriously. Like, remember that last election when everything had to be stopped and nobody could wear blue, and, you know, Karina did, okay, I'm not giving my opinion on that one. Don't want an unnecessary thumbs down. But yes, my point in general is that urban cities are chaotic, yes, but adding all of that into the chaos of Seoul in general, and then add to that the chaos of this world in general, with their names being brought into it with a certain president, I would be worried too. And I feel like we're hearing about more and more mass tragedies and mass bullying. I don't know. The world is just getting more and more of a nasty, nasty place. And that's why I like to make these videos sometimes. Like, it gives me moments really just to even talk to myself and try and just find positives in anything. And mind you, Korea is a peninsula, and, you know, like always like Florida, when, you know, like you can chop off Florida, it can float away. They could do that to Korea. I'm not throwing some Bugs Bunny propaganda out here, but did I just I hope that didn't cross the line. I'm not being serious about chopping up countries. Who do you think I am, Israel? Anyway, with war looming everywhere and Korea being kind of in the heart of some of it, I get the chaos that's going on. But the way that they were able to turn that tension into something that was very specific to their culture was just, it was masterful. Honestly, it was masterful. And the mission, in a really strange way, opened my eyes to, remember I started this by saying, like, yeah, every city is chaotic, but it was really eye-opening to me how this helped me understand the differences in chaos. The music, I was expecting created by Brian Murphy to pop up. I want to see Sarah Paulson pop up. I'm like, is this Korean Horror Story? Like, is it based on Go the game? Like, what? That's what happens when you have it. roommate who listens to K-pop. I have not been that invested in online drama, but I've been hearing that there is a lot of online drama and a lot of people just being very negative and mean. Listen, I do not remember the past 2 seasons, the communities being like this. The way that everyone has been treating Rehata, even me, like I didn't even know how to say her name right for a while. Like, my God, my God. I recognize her name though, and I remember her from last season, and I know she's an icon, a legend, and she will always be the moment. Pause, because when they said like, they needed her to win the battle, I'm like, that is some BS. And then second of all, why would you put that guilt on her? I think things were kind of edited and taken out of order. These words, these things spoken, I think have been spoken about other people and that are attached on other people. I swear that made sense in my head. Okay, I swear it did. One of the main things from Motiv Crew's performance was that even in so much turmoil, we can still come together. In a community such as dance and art form, it can come together to form a political movement. And that just to me it speaks so much in today's time. No matter where you are, what side you're on any side, we see turmoil. We feel it, we hate it, we perpetuate it, we kind of love it. I'm only bringing this up and connecting it to the show specifically because there was a comment. I read the comments, trust me, I read comments. I don't usually reply because I get nervous. Like, I get nervous to reply. But someone said last season of Street Woman Fighter was kind of helpful for them. And it made me go back and think Street Woman Fighter 1 and 2, fans were, I mean, there were some annoying ones, but fans were great. Y'all fostered such an amazing community. And now compare it years later to 2025 in the way the fans are, it is so different. I mean, different. It feels like it was back in the day when it was really, really toxic. So in a way, I blame JYP for Ryan Murphy.